Well, the invitation here for those who are willing to actually remember, I said from the beginning, you'll get the results when you actually put it into practice. So if you're willing, I'm offering this invitation right now for you to actually have an experience that can directly reveal something to you, directly resolve the actual problem, and can give you direct insight and clarity about that for yourself so that you can actually notice what is the real nature of happiness and how happiness is available to you and where it exists and if there are any prerequisites for it. So this is not to say that you might not desire some of those things and that you might not take action to fulfill some of those things. But can that come from a problem-free state? I'm proposing yes, it can, and that it will be it will give you better results actually. So the process is just again, and I'm inviting you to actually do this now. So if you think, oh, I'll do it later, or oh, this is too silly, it's too simple, it couldn't work, then you're missing out on the opportunity. Or if you think, oh, well, it will take too long, it's too hard, it wouldn't work for me and my problems because my problems are fill in the blank, then you're missing out. If you're willing to just follow along with this very simple process, then I promise you, you will get the results. So that process again is just notice how you feel about the problem. And don't worry about getting exactly right and finding exactly the right word. Just be willing to play along. How do you feel about it? What comes to mind? Now just notice that. Just notice how you feel about the problem. And then ask yourself, what do you want instead? What would you like to experience? What would you like to feel instead of that? And just notice that. Imagine that. You don't have to have a full-blown 100% experience of it, but just notice it to whatever degree you can. And then again, notice how you feel about the problem. And then notice what you would like to experience instead. So somebody says, problem seems to be meaningless when I imagine the state I would like to feel. Keep exploring it until something will happen. So meaningless is perhaps a useful step, but just see what happens when can you even when it becomes completely neutralized, then perhaps you'll notice that there's not even a state that you would like to feel. You already experience exactly what you want. So saying it sucks, I don't think is doing the process. So again, I'm just going to encourage you to actually just be willing to do the process. It's very simple. If anybody's not clear about how this works, please let me know. I'm inviting you to do this right now. So you're just alternating. On the one hand, notice how you feel about the problem. And on the other hand, notice how you would like to feel. Just alternate. Put your attention on noticing how you feel about the problem. And then notice how you would like to feel. So somebody says, it feels like there is a drag after I state how I feel about the problem that doesn't allow me to feel what I'd like to feel instead. But you don't have to feel what you'd like instead. What would you like instead? So it's not necessary that that's why I said you don't have to have some kind of, big heart opening or mental clarity or anything. It's just what would you like instead? You know what you'd like instead. You have to know what you'd like instead because otherwise you could not have a definition for what you are presently feeling. What you're feeling, this is really important to understand. So for those who've read the free ebook that I offer on my website, then you may be familiar with the law of polarity. So everything exists or is defined by what it is not. This is fundamental quality of how reality works. So in order to have any perception or any experience of anything, you immediately also are unconsciously bringing to mind what it is not, because whatever you think it is defined by what it is not. And here, the the process is just to bring both of them to conscious awareness and hold them both, and this will allow for a resolution, and the problem will completely resolve.